Hi.
Cynthia Virgon.
I'm Chris Wilrich.
Hey, Chris. How are you doing?
I am, as we were just saying, a bit frazzled. Long drive, got home, quick change, sit here, wine ready. Like, follow, subscribe, smash. Yeah, literally, this is my life at the moment. Everything's fine. It's all just burning down around me. It's a wonderful job,
I got my little rum in my hand, and I hope that I will not be spilling it during the show today.
Bet.
Hopefully.
We need to put a bet on it. Bets in the comments, everyone, along with where you're logging in from.
Yes, please tell us where you're watching, and don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, slightly press, softly fondle.
Softly fondle today.
Ooh, softly fondling. Oh, we're slightly pressing and softly fondling. Don't we love it?
We certainly do. Do we?
We do. We're not going there, Chris.
I didn't do anything yet.
No, you're not doing anything. Well, I'm still on vacation, so I'm still really hot, and I have my barrette to save me. So this is gonna work for me in a minute because it's so hot. Your angle's wrong.
That's better. Then my shoulder sort of blocks the suitcase just, and then we see my gorgeous guitar there as well.
Yes, we do see your gorgeous guitar. I love seeing things in the background. You know how we love seeing things in the background during these.
We do love a bit of background action.
Yes, we do love it. Yeah, and you know, sometimes we wonder about people's backgrounds. Remember that?
We do.
We do remember about people's backgrounds. So
yes, the sweats.
James, listening from home. Love this guest. Very clever man. Well, thank you, James. We can't wait to get our guest on. But before we do, we're going to change things up a little today. We have shower thoughts, but they're not Chris's shower thoughts. They're not my shower thoughts. They're my dad's shower thoughts. So my dad...
Here we go.
Here we go. So my dad is a really funny guy. He really is. He has a sense of humor that Papa Virgon, oh my God, screenshot that for me, please. Oh, I love that. I'm going to send it to him. Oh, my Papa Virgon's shower thoughts. So my dad, he came up to, I'm on vacation at his house and at my mom's house, and he comes up to me, and I've got a friend here, and he comes up to us and he's like, all right, girls, I have a question for you. And I don't know, why is it that when I clean out my ears with a Q-tip, why does it make me cough? And I thought that only happened to me, but does it happen to anyone else?
It doesn't happen to me.
Really? Oh my God, maybe it's genetic. Because it happens to both of us. No? Oh, come on, guys. In your comments, does this happen? Kelly, thank you. Thank you. My producer, our producer, co-producer says.
Sometimes, though.
Yeah, well, it happens always in my right ear and never in my left. My dad, it happens twice to both ears. So, yeah, does anyone have the answer in the comments? Because, yeah, I would love it.
I can go into crazy Chris detail for what happens to me because I can't use Q-tips. I just get no hearing. So I have a special baby booger sucker that I fill with hot water and like douche my ear and it sorts it right out. It's disgusting because like all kinds of MDF dust and crap comes out of my head and I'm like, oh, I can hear the birds again.
Oh God, did we ever think that on this show we would be talking about personal hygiene this much? Chris?
I have to. So then the weird and awkward thing is then that gets left on the like bathroom cabinet and then people walk into the bathroom and be like, hang on a second. And I'm like, no, that's my ear one.
All right, I've now given up. I am actually now wearing, oh Jesus, I look like a palm tree.
I mean, that's being polite.
Scott calling in from Scott is calling in from Scotland.
Love it.
Friday
His parents have imagination.
Cheers, Scott from Scotland.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you see, I went upside down in my glass. Can I make my beard line up?
No, I can see nothing in mine. Mine is just fog and
murky.
Nothing. Yeah.
Shall I smash through my quick shower thoughts, and then we can ask we can ask our wonderful guest
Yes.
whether he coughs when he shoves a Q-tip in his ear. So really quickly,
I would love it. Go for it.
People sentenced to house arrest in 2020 properly lucked out.
Oh yeah.
And then whoever said that man is the only animal that hunts for sport has never met a house cat.
That's true. Oh
and then,
my God.
If you really think about it as well, this is a completely different subject, but if you really think about it, there is a never-ending poop waterfall in every skyscraper.
What?
Well, think of a sewage system. So somewhere in a skyscraper, there's a never-ending poop waterfall, and someone has to maintain that. Poor human. Now I've got literally into the sewers. I might just go and get a fan. Hush now.
All right. We are going to get our bearings back.
Are we?
We're going to invite our guest to come on to this shit show. Don't scotch tape your face, because if you do that, I will end up scotch taping mine. And when I scotch tape my face, it is not pretty.
Next TEA event, bet.
All right, I'm up for it. I'll do it. I'm crazy. Whatever. But today, this week, we are welcoming a tech geek, a techie guy. And you're so happy. I know you're so happy. You love it when we have tech guys on, because you guys can talk shop and everything. And I'm just totally lost and have absolutely no fucking idea what you guys are talking about. But that's fine. His name is Nerijus Linauskas, and he works as a lead developer at Electrosonic. And he's just cool. And I think we should bring him on the show to pick his brain about our shower thoughts. What do you think, Chris?
I love it.
Well, hello, Cynthia.
Hello, Nerijus.
Hello,
Welcome
everyone.
to the show.
Thank you for having me in first place. It's a great honor. Very interesting. Like to check your TV from time to time. Just a great fun, great laugh for Friday evening. Relax after a hard day's work. Have your cup of tea.
Or something else.
Now, what's actually in that mug?
Oh, I think I'm running out of it. I need to fill it
I like you, Nerijus. I like you. So tell us, when you clean out your ears, do you cough?
No, not really. And supposedly interesting. It is, doctors suggest not to use Q-tips in the first place, and it should naturally clear out. I do use that though, but no, I don't.
Wow. Well, maybe it's hereditary. Now I'm wondering whether it's just hereditary. Now you got me thinking. And what were your other interesting? Oh God, the shit waterfall.
Oh God. But that's just a fact. Like, Cynthia's going into.
Where does it go? It's, I don't know. Just watch a documentary about the Middle East, and they were talking about Burj Khalifa, the biggest skyscraper, and where that ends. And supposedly they don't have any system to. It's basically trucks bringing it out. And I thought that's poor engineering, isn't it? They didn't think about that, did they?
Well, it's typical for the region, isn't it? Like there's always the poop truck going down the motorway anywhere in the Middle East. There's always a poop truck.
Oh dear. So it's just
And you can smell it when you get within like 5 miles of it behind it. And then as you catch it up, it gets stronger and stronger. Then you pass it and it's like, oh, fresh air.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I will confess I have never been to the Middle East. Well, I've been to Jordan, but I don't remember seeing that stuff happening. Yes, exactly. What is happening? I never thought that we were talking about poop cars and poop trucks and poop falls on this show. Nerijus, welcome to Unsung Heroes. I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah, well, I guess not a lot of introductions. I'm a lead developer in Electrosonic. I've been in the industry for many years, 15, I think, precise. And I've been doing audio video for a long time as an engineer. So, yeah.
You're used to this industry. And the craziness, is this what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of fun what we do, absolutely.
So Nerijus, tell us how you got into this industry. What's your life path?
Life path. It's a long one. I think I could go back to being 4 years old when I was listening to my father's vinyl collections. And at that point, it was kind of interesting to me to understand how the vinyl needle vibrations actually transfer to the loudspeakers or headphones, and the sound comes out through these. And it felt fascinating, and it was almost magical. And listening to that music, it felt like the whole world or time around you would stop, and you're in this interesting sort of time space nearly. So yeah, I was kind of thinking about these transistors and all that. Later, growing up, I was curious for more knowledge, and being a grown-up, I knew that I would like to study somewhere. So I was looking at what I could do. I loved programming. I loved electronics, and of course, music was my passion. We as humans, I don't think we can live without music. It is our ritual. And I narrowed it down to IT and electronics, and I realized you need electronics to do IT. And with the software, at that point, being a grown-up, I could create a little software which had a little cross button on top right, and you would close it. And I didn't feel it as a tangible thing, and it just didn't click to me that, So yeah, I've studied electronics. During the studies, I thought, right, okay, I need to earn some cash, and I printed out 3 CV copies, mapped out where I want to go, and I stopped at one company, which was AV company. Had an interview, and I got a job offer as a warehouse operative. So as a student, so started from the right bottom, I guess. And then, yeah, at that point, I thought, oh, that's very interesting. I don't know what these guys are doing, and it's seeing all these things, and I saw one task that we were doing constantly. It was just not efficient. So we were sending out parcels and whatnot, and I had to type in address where we are sending the item to, and address just in case. And of course, the return address is always the same. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I make it sort of a design where I could, put a company logo. That's a return address, and this is the delivery address. That will save a little bit of time, maybe half the time or something. So I've done that. I've made a nice design so I could fit all of these little sort of labels onto A4 paper. And one day, director was walking by, and he saw these labels, and he said, "What's that?" And basically explained rationale and the problem, the process, what I used, and the results. And he was like, "Okay." I didn't make a lot of it. I had a little holiday, came back after holiday, and he stopped me. He said, "Nerijus, would you come over to the office?" And he showed me a desk, all new, fresh. He said, "This is your desk. Now you're promoted to CAD engineer." And oh, wow, okay. So that was just, new life opening to me, and just knowing a little bit more about the systems and wires, how things connect, and so on and so forth. Although I do know electronics, so at that sort of age. Then there was one day where one of the engineers had an interesting remote control. It was kind of odd looking. It has USB connector. It doesn't do anything. You have to program it to do some things. And I'm like looking at it, exploring it, and we can control supposedly everything with it. And still young kid. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. He asked me, do you want to program it? I said, yeah, of course. So I took it over, I brought it back home, spent a whole weekend reading guides and manuals, understanding it, how's this and that and that. Basically cobbled everything up. I gave it next working day to him. He installed it, and I thought, I did say to him that it might not work. There might be some bugs or something. And he said, yeah, everything is fine. And then they sent me to Belgium to be trained in programming the systems. I got the first project. It was full of my projects, so that involved audio system, the control elements. So we were controlling shades and lights and all these things. It was nice touch panel and some video in there. And when I finished the project, I realized I'd like to step out of my engineering shoes and try to be a customer, try to be that simple person or human, experiencing it, how it feels. And I realized at that point, wow, this is all the things I do. Audio, control systems. I write the software, but the software that I write actually is tangible. It's the things around me start interacting with me. And I realized that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So project after project, challenge after challenge, years after years, I was assigned to work on the biggest arena in Baltics. That was 17,000 seats arena in my birth town. I believe there are some couple of pictures in there that we could look into. And so that's how it looks. I had to model audio, sort of a multi-purpose audio system that would cater, smaller concerts, live venues, and that involved 76 loudspeakers. I had to go to Germany to be trained up to do that, and the calculations were exhausting. My computer was running, for 8 hours just to produce some metrics, what could work, what couldn't. And I was giving all my best I can. And the main reason I wanted, my, citizens or people who live in the same town to enjoy it, to have something that they could be proud of. So I just went in there, bold. It was hard. But when it was delivered, we were doing auditioning, and it just blew me away, the system and how it sounded. It was the best thing I ever heard. It was very rewarding. But I think the most rewarding thing was that there's one picture which you can see sun setting down in the horizon. And my rest in peace grandfather was an engineer, and he built a bridge just further in the horizon. And so he was an engineer, and he helped building that bridge. And just to have that connection where this arena had put something in as well for people, that was very nice. Later.
Where is this, Nerijus? Sorry, where is this?
So my motherland is Lithuania, and this is in Kaunas, so that's the second biggest town, and it's in the middle of the river, so it's islands. And currently, what they're building is the science museum near it, which is it's quite nice. I mean, it is impressive, to be fair, and it's a very good one. So that's the thing. Then my career didn't stop. I thought I want to achieve something more, and a couple of suggestions. I packed my backpack, just a single backpack, and I moved to another country, which was United Kingdom. And I left my motherland on 16th of February 2013, and that was Lithuanian Independence Day. So showed up in United Kingdom, completely different country. Everything is different. Cars are driving on the right side, well, the other side of the road. Everything
the correct side of the road.
Yeah, it's just so dangerous. You have to readjust yourself completely. Not mentioning different language, which was of course a big factor. And I was applying for jobs, days and nights, nothing. Then one evening, about 7 p.m., I received an email from one of the recruiters. And he said, well, look, if you want to apply through us, firstly, you need to type in the dates correctly. So, give it a day, month, and a year. And, you have to change your CV completely as well. And I thought, right, okay. I sat down on it. I spent a whole night, and I think I finished at about 4 in the morning. and I sent that CD back to him. It was about 8 in the morning. He gives me a call. Are you for real? I said, sorry, I don't understand what you mean. He said, did you just do that? I said, yeah, of course. I need to do something. I'm running out of savings, of FS, almost. But then he arranged interviews, and one of them was Electrosonic. Electrosonic was quite something, and it is quite something. People, what we do, facilities, test departments, and all the things, the history of building hardware, video wall processes, all that, and it felt very good. And then having an interview, I realized there's a little bit of continuity. I just didn't know that I was programming one system in Lithuania, and the code was basically written by an Electrosonic person just sitting in front of me. And I realized there's a sign. Literally, I just want to be in here. And yeah, I had a second interview, and told manager, recruiter, saying, if you feel like it won't go well, just let me know. I will give HR or Electrosonic a call, and I will try to sort of soften the approach up a little bit. And so I went in there. I was grilled very badly, and I thought, right, what's going to happen now? I gave him a call and I said, look, I don't think it went smooth. I think your help is needed. And he said, no, it's quite the opposite. I just received a call from them. They want you. I'm like, oh wow, yes. And so the rest is the story. To be fair, I mean, the rest is the history. I've been involved in a lot of projects, and I'm doing what I love, and carrying on doing audio video systems. And one thing that it got me involved is museums, theme parks, cultural centers. That's the thing that actually I realized that's actually quite much more interesting, and not only involves your passion, but also involves a little bit of ecology and trying to do something that will potentially inspire others to pursue and learn more. And so, yeah.
I happen to know, Nerijus, that you don't just work with technology, that you bend it and sculpt it to make it work how you want to make it work.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not just James that's on the call. You're known as an unsung hero in the industry, of a man that can make things happen that can't usually happen.
Yeah, maybe hardware is afraid of me. It's not. The hardware is not afraid of me. But yeah, I'll try to convince it. And control systems, to me, they are control systems, meaning that they have to do exactly. There's no if and buts with electronics. It's binary, 0 or 1s. It has to be doing what it needs to be doing. Yeah, and with that obviously comes a lot of challenges.
The magical if statement: if this thing does something stupid, then do this, and I've got round you.
Yeah. It is. It's always challenging when you achieve that equilibrium where all the components work together in harmony, and that's actually it's going to be fine. So anything, what usually we do is we cater for quite a lot of other elements, exactly as you were saying. If something falls apart, it needs to recover itself and all that. So our programming is not just this goes quite deep, to be fair, just to make sure that everything is 100% operable and it's reliable and easy to use.
It's so impressive, I think, how when you're young and you've got all of these little passions, how life just comes together and gives you this opportunity to have a job that just fulfills everything that you've wanted, and it's just this round.
I believe everybody can have it, and I believe it's you have to dream hard, and you'll get what you want. And maybe it's sometimes hard for me to understand, how people, I don't like my job. I'm thinking, why? I don't understand you. But in all honesty, it's just follow your passion, follow your dreams, do what you love. Everything will come into place.
Yeah, it's I remember reading somewhere, I can't remember whether it was I don't remember what CEO it was that said this, but he said that every morning I look at myself in the mirror and I think to myself, "Am I happy to do what I have to do today?" And of course, there are some days where you're going to say, "No, I'm not," and of course, there are going to be some days where, yeah, you are. And if the majority is, "No, I'm not," then you need to operate a change. And it's really something that I keep with myself every time I feel like there's this majority of, I don't want to do this. There's always something that I can change to make it look better, to make it
Cynthia, that's called a hangover, and it means not drinking the night before. Something that I can't get right.
Goodness gracious me. Yes, probably.
Oops.
So, Nerijus, tell us what are some of the challenges that you've had to deal with in your career.
Right. Let's start challenges. What type of challenges can we face?
You can tell us about a technical challenge where you overcame it, or a personal challenge, or a literal human challenge that was challenging everything you did, because we all get them.
Yeah. There's also, like, for example, scope gaps. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
When you do a project and suddenly you realize the client actually wanted something that you didn't do, and you're like, oh, okay, we have to deliver that. There was one in Kuwait. I had a Kuwait oil company museum. And that was quite interesting for the fact that, we had 50 interactive computers, and the client expected them to be backed up. And I used a software. It was taking about me 45 minutes to back up one computer. I became smart. I was doing 3 at a time. But nonetheless, it was a week of work. And then media producers came over and they replaced the media. They said, "Oh, well, the client didn't approve the font, so we had to replace everything." And I'm like, I have to do that again. So that was a painful thing, which was a takeaway learning for me. Then, you have hospital passes. That was usually, it's English term, when you've been given projects or anything, a task that is hard to do, or, colleague or something happened. So there was, the colleague who left, he was given that as a hospital pass as well. He was trying to do the best he can. And I took it over afterwards, and they say, there's a project in Jeddah, in the Middle East, and you're going there to finish the project. When? Tomorrow. Right, okay, what's that about? So I got a sort of a task list or issue list, and I read that, and I thought, man, sounds a little bit like surreal. It doesn't sound, I feel like there's some bits missing. Oh, wipe off the dust from here, make sure that the screen is, or the keyboard is correct, and in there, and surely, what do you know, everything. Audio systems, not, it should be playing 9 channels of audio, only plays 7. The bits are not, working. The lighting system had issues. I will talk about that. Video servers, not playing correctly, didn't meet the specifications, and I had to go and find the graphics card in Middle East, and also a hardware rack. And I thought, where do I start from? So luckily, I kind of thought, there must be IT streets around somewhere. We took a cab, and basically it costed an arm and a leg. But we found that eventually. The guys are selling all the Cisco stuff, all legit. And funny enough, it costed less than here in UK. So, and we rebuilt all the hardware. But being in a country which is 40 degrees and trying to figure these things out, and you have to literally just move fast and think straight away. And then it was, because it was a planetarium, there was an issue with the mapping in there. So I had to do the mapping in there as well. And it was, here you go. It's quite impressive. It's in the theme park. It's called al-shalal. So in Arabian language, that means water. Hang on. It's a waterfall. Here we go in the context. And so this space is impressive, and the owner of the planetarium, he wanted for locals to enjoy it, for them to learn more about the stars and all that alignments. So and what was the problem afterwards with the mapping is that I try mapping and it just doesn't work, and there are issues, and I have to figure out what's happening with it. And if it's in the next picture, I hope. And I was spending nights, and here you go. And the climate was very humid, and you can see one little white speckle in there. That's actually mold. And the humidity in that space was something crazy. So obviously, when I use the cameras to do the video warping and all the things, one of the cameras just doesn't do them. And
so for people like Cynthia that aren't techie, what are we looking at in this photo? How about that? I did it for you, Cynthia.
Well, it looks like a close-up of a camera lens.
Yeah, it's a Saline.
Yes, lovely.
So see?
She got it.
I'm not that clueless. Okay, all right. I know a little thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Don't go Valley Girl on us. I will leave. I will turn this car around. Sorry,
Nerijus. So I'll carry on. So basically, warping. I think that was one night where I was staying until 5 a.m. in the morning. I said I will not leave until I get that done. So I was with the support and everything, with the States, and of course the time zone difference and etc. You have to be awake that late. And 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm walking back home to the hotel, and it's obviously quiet, dark, gloomy, stranded cats, and suddenly I start hearing sounds, and one after another, and it was their prayer time. What happens? Of course, they use microphones and they sing live. I thought they were recordings back in the day, but when they start praying, actually they sing, they pray just using microphones, and you do that live. 5 a.m. in the morning, everybody is sleepy, and it doesn't sound nice. So it was just like a ghost town. So just these really odd issues that you would get. And the last one, I think, just to top everything off, was that there was something with the lighting system, like a gremlin or like a little sort of a thing happening. And it would just sometimes happen, sometimes it wouldn't. And I caught it. I was copying media files from one video server to another, and lights start flickering around. And I'm thinking, what is happening in there? And that was another design flaw. That it was a gotcha, that you can't do the things like that. So really odd things. Who can imagine? Copying files affects the lights. So but that was, you learn through these, and it's just very odd. And humidity damaged the servers. I think it was the day before grand opening, and one of the video servers failed completely, and we have to run it next day. So we had one spare one, and basically, the day before that, the main the park manager is there. Just, Nerijus, are you sure you want to do this? And I have both servers gutted. Just everything is open, combining things together, hard drives, motherboards, and everything. We cobbled it out. It was working. So,
we call them Franken servers, and have done it many times before as well. So I'm going to take the hard drives out of this one, or the RAID drive out of this one, RAID array out of this one. I'm going to take the graphics card out of this one, the motherboard out of this one, and the power and the fans out of this one, and put them in this one's chassis. And then I've got the server that I need to get this going. Bang, and it goes. Plug it up. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. We have a show.
Yeah, that's what we have to do sometimes.
Did you know there is a massive mathematical equation for what actual time the Isha prayer that's at 5 a.m. goes out?
No, I didn't.
Because it can't be based on by the sun, because it's different every day. So there's a massive equation that looks very confusing because I've just brought it up to have a look at it because I can't recite it. It's big. But there is an equation to calculate what time they should actually start the prayer. Now, there's an app, I know there's an app that I say they. I'm being very generalist there. I'm talking about Muslim prayer times and specifically the Isha prayer, which is in the middle of early morning, late at night, and it moves depending on where the sun is and where you are on the planet. Just still interesting.
Yeah, they do have the compasses, and it's interesting when they pray, they have to be facing a particular way, and I thought that's interesting. Right, and I think, what else from the challenges? Hey, Windows. What do you think, Chris, about Microsoft Windows? You can do the best you can, but they will throw something at you every single time.
One of my greatest teachers in audiovisual installations, and God rest him, he's not with us anymore. He had a motorbike accident when he was very young and lost the use of one arm, and wouldn't let doctors do anything about it in case medical science moved forward enough to be able to heal it at a future date. So this is a man that would pump 55, 60-inch plasma screens on his foot and on his leg, and then pop it up and drop it on a bracket on his own. So he said, I always asked him, like, how do you learn to do something? Like, how can you do it like that? Because for me, I wouldn't even try. I'd be like, it's a 2-man lift. Let's do this. It's like, sometimes you don't have to go and get someone, because every day's a school day, and one day you're going to learn how to do something you couldn't do before. I learned how to do this because I had to. So Windows, every day's a school day, because every update screws everything you thought you knew about it.
Yeah.
So never update Windows.
I like the approach the young generation have to them USB sticks, and they say, what, USB sticks? That's so yesterday. Who uses them now? We have a Google Drive. You do the cloud. Okay, well,
yeah. Now, what happens when you take away the internet?
Yeah.
And then these generations, because like I'm technically millennial, so I read a thing the other day that millennials are the last generation to have grown up at all without the internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, when your G Drive disagrees, or your Dropbox, or your Box, and no matter what online cloud platform you use, you can't get access to the internet, which Nerijus, as you and I both know, cite 90% of the time. Internet is a very, very valuable commodity.
Yeah.
And to the point where I've actually traded things like, I need some Unistrut, you need some internet, I've got some internet, give me all the
Unistrut. Excellent.
So what's Unistrut, or whatever you just said?
It's a metal channel that we use to, it's a slotted channel that you can hang things from either side. It's very versatile when you've got some hacksaws and some bolts, nuts and washers, and little Zebedees, as we call them. Yeah. I believe they're called channel nuts, but they look like Zebedee from Magic Roundabout. A little sprung nut with a washer thing built in. Yeah, Zebedees. Zebs.
Okay. All right.
So, I need some M10Zs, and they're like, oh, we've got loads. How much are you willing to give us? I'm like, well, I'm not giving you any beer, but I do have internet. And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, so I will give you the passcode, and then they give that to all of their friends, but you've already taken the MAC address and assigned an IP, so that person can have internet. Now, if everyone else in your crew wants to have internet, you need to do me more favors. So now I'll have the beer, and you can have the internet.
Yeah,
tip for
that is true. That is true.
So, moving on slightly, then, Nerijus, like, what do you know now that you wish that you could have told yourself when you were starting out doing what you do? Maybe even looking at that vinyl record, because I'm sure you'd actually be able to explain now to four-year-old Nerijus. exactly what's
Yes,
going
as
on.
long as we don't go into the details, I've tried to be. But it's interesting. The mindset actually didn't change that much. I think the only thing I would just encourage myself to be a brave, try to explore the world, go for it. There's a lot of opportunities, and don't be afraid to take the risk. If something fails, it's fine. It's the nature of it. You haven't failed, you haven't tried. Yeah, I think that's what I would think of. To be fair. It is that everything is, as I say, is achievable. Just go for it and explore.
Explore. And what's the hardest lesson that you've learned?
The hardest lesson. I had I was working on the biggest museum in the world, and I think that would be layer 3 network crash course, should I say. I had to understand how to set up quite a big network of things, and I did have a little bit of knowledge, but when it comes to getting it live and running, that was quite something, and there was no time to do that. Oh yeah, this is the mama, the big one.
The mama.
It is still called, it's Sheikh Abdul Al Salim Cultural Center, and it is still treated as the biggest museum in the world. And it took quite a few companies to deliver that. It was quite beautiful orchestration of really busy, long hours between all the companies and all the trades to deliver this, a pinnacle, I guess, in Kuwait. This museum by now is still picking up the awards. Just recently got another award in Germany as a visitor attractor place in Kuwait. If you're in Kuwait, it's definitely worth checking it out. It is surreal. It is something quite different.
How many days do you need to visit that place?
Good question. When we were there, I was averaging about 17,000 steps a day. And maybe at least 2-3 days. You definitely can't do that in one. It is impossible. And the galleries, they are huge. We personally worked on 100. So our galleries were science, human body, innovation, transport, robotics. We had healthy living as well. And there's some of the stuff that we've done, they were absolute complete prototypes, and you don't get that anywhere as a live product. And the interactivity, what we achieved, is quite interesting.
What was the name of that museum? I'm sorry.
So it is in the short, it would be SAASCC, or Sheikh Abdul Al Salim Cultural Center. And so we're doing 17,000 steps. Oh, this is one interesting one. This is 4D motion theater, and it is suspended in the air. So you have one big sort of a sphere, and you just walk into all 4D motion scenes. It's quite impressive. Just overall organizing the thing that it would be safe, secure, would meet all the requirements, and it would deliver that experience. Plus, acoustically, should be interesting. Acoustically should deliver what needs to deliver, closer to THX type of standards. So multi-channel audios, projections, 3D glasses. It's quite something. It's quite cool. And it was lovely to actually pick up the books and revisit mechanical strengths and all the structural rigidity calculations we had to do, and to make sure that nothing falls apart. This is another interesting one. This is was Race Against the Best, and the idea was that the kid would swipe RFID card, and he would be able to race against the fastest runners. They would be mapped on those 80-inch LCD monitors, and there would be a beam to trigger the countdown, and there would be a beam to when you cross the finish line, and it would show the time. And when you're basically through the day, you would get the list of who's the fastest kid actually running around. So that was quite an interesting challenge. 18 video players, interactive computers, multiple sensors, light system as well. And it's still, I think, so far when I have opportunity to hear from AV managers in there, it is one of the more popular ones. Literally, kids are queuing in there just to have a go to something interesting. And how
So what time did you set on it, Nerijus?
Pardon?
What time did you set on it?
Oh my God, I don't think I tried it. Because I could cheat it, I could swipe a RFID card, and when the countdown starts, I actually walk up to the finish line sensor and I just swipe it. And when it clicks, I think I could do that. 0.1 second, bam, time it. I would cheat. I don't know.
Why work hard when you can just cheat to win and make it easy?
Yeah, exactly. Why do it when you can just cheat?
In fairness, I'm exactly the same as Nerijus there, because that's exactly what I would do. When we did the National Football Museum in the UK, I won the penalty shootout thing with the fastest and the hardest penalty kick of all time, because I knew what to do.
Yeah.
So I had a colleague roll the ball off of the penalty spot, literally, and it's like, take your kick. And I was like, 3, 2, 1, you move, I move. And it was like a quarter of a second and the ball was in the net. They're like, you hit that at 207 miles per hour. Like,
brilliant.
I've got a hard old boot.
You are such a cheater. Oh, Nerijus, you're cheating too. That's not right.
We are literally, Cynthia, we have to bend the rules for a living. All of the things that you think are normal and make sense, we have to bend them to make them work. And Nerijus is 10 times better at it than I am.
No, I agree with Chris in the sense that actually what we try to do, we know how it works, but the main idea is for somebody to experience that. And, let's just embrace it. Let's make their experience as good as we can. And, yeah.
Yes.
Is that right? Bending the rules so that you know where they break?
But that's
true.
Soak testing a system. Like literally pushing it to its absolute limit until it breaks. Then we know when it breaks. And then we can write something that mitigates that.
It wouldn't break. Exactly. Yeah. That is the process.
So if I go and I'm like the slowest in the world, I might break the system.
And we've thought of you, Cynthia, specifically you, because you'd walk in there and do that whilst being hilarious all the way through it.
Yes, absolutely.
I can imagine that Cynthia walking up to doing that 100-meter dash and then just be like, what happens if I do it in a forward roll and just roll? Cartwheel.
I think I would do that the other way.
Do it again. Da, 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 da.
Bionic woman. Do 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 do.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think what I would do. I would try to reprogram the system in a way so if you're slower than a tortoise, for example, you would get a message. Sorry, you can't be that. Sorry, no, I know hey, I don't get your jokes. Something like that. It's fine, Easter egg. Leave it.
But I think that adds to it as well, Nerijus. A little bit of humour just popping in when you don't expect it. It's like, you think you're funny. Well, here's a joke.
That would definitely make me laugh. Honestly, if I went to that and then I'm trying to go slow and the thing just goes meh, 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 meh. Do you really think you're funny?
That's just where you change the projection like to something completely different.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I would think of to do that. Like one of the projects that we did had a lot of projectors lining up that needed doing, and I decided that each area of that would it would take, if they're doing one lamp change at a time, turning the projector, lamping it, turning it back, lining it up with the grid on the screen, then you need to reset it and click the button to say that you're done. If you didn't click the button to say that you've done one projector and you're moving to the next one, it started with the introduction to Star Wars, because there were 6 zones, and I had 6 movies, soundtracks, and then the trailing credits. So I then got a call about 9 months later from the technical manager saying, you need to turn the Star Wars off. It's bothering other galleries. Because the guys were taking too long. And I was like, well, one at a time, press the button, let the system know that you've changed the lamps and the projector, and therefore it's double checking that the projector's lamps have zeroed, or it throws up an alarm to tell you haven't reset the projector's lamp hours. Very, like, I'm covering all bases, and if you're wrong, you get punished with a Star Wars crescendo.
Love it. Wow.
That's hilarious.
And also told him that, I didn't, but I didn't actually do it, but I told him that if they didn't pay us, then porn would come up on the screen.
Oh, no.
It was funny at the time.
Oh, that was fun.
He was
That would be
very
funny.
scared.
I'm gonna have to do that for clients that don't pay me on time, like scare them with deep fakes. That would be kind of fun.
But see, in our little
Think
bit,
about
Cynthia,
that.
we have the ultimate power, because you can make something go, no, I'm not working today. So they phone you and go, why is it not working? I was like, well, because I fancied a chat. Hi, how are you? How have you been? Is everything working? Not today? Oh, okay. What can we do about that?
Your tokens ran out. Could you please top it up? Here's the phone number.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I did see a couple of things like that, and I thought maybe it's ethical, not ethical. But when I was designing a couple of museums, I thought I will introduce some, layer 3 networking, so particular exhibits could not reach out internet, and you could control that if it's not timed in internally, like a time bomb, or so museums and what we do, and even with that cultural center, we try to go really deep into the IT technology and give the management of everything, what data goes where and how everything exhibits, although they're singular exhibits with their own concepts and etc. But we, as of holistically, we were letting the clients actually choose and control what they want to do with these. And mainly that was because of the bloody Windows. Again, what they've done to us, they let us down. We had 200 computers in there, and all of them decided to upgrade themselves, and they fell apart. And every single one had a blue screen of death. And we were like, and as we spent all the time to configure them, to set them up, we talked to manufacturers, nothing. It just Microsoft said, no, sorry, you'll have it. And
Cynthia's died. Have you honestly never heard blue screen of death before?
I just love that expression. Yes, I've heard it before, but I love that expression. It's hilarious. It's just so true. You're just there.
Sadly, no. It was a big one. I can't remember the year. It was a couple of years ago, but it affected a lot of laptops from Dell and everybody, and big manufacturers. And we were unfortunate ones because we had 200 computers and we needed to fix them. And just with a limited time being on site, we're like, oh, yeah, there we go. There's nobody to blame. You can't blame Microsoft. Yeah, so we had 50 racks, 1,000 network addresses. And it's just part of it. You can't even see the whole. We were using a lot of interesting things. And you remember the backups that I was saying, that, the scope gap that we had. So I had 200 computers, easy maths. 40 takes a week, 200, well, more than a month. And I thought, my God, I don't want to sit in the control room, back up every computer one by one. So we wrote a software which would allow us to back everything up with just one click of the button. And that made me proud. I thought, you know what, I just saved the company. Yeah, it took me 3 days to do that, but we saved a month, most likely, to do that. So it's just, I guess that's where it goes into where we're kind of moving a little bit deeper. So, all audio videos connecting into the IT, and everything is becoming a little bit more cloud. So, even our experiences, I personally feel like, that could transition into something which is a little bit more personalized. We will be able to see more, a little bit of a connected services around, where your social media profile will most likely, will be able to be reflected somewhere in the one experiential space of one way or another. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you not think, Nerijus, that there's a gap, like there's a chance there, like where we're looking from a how can we make experiences better and closer and more personal? At the same time, there is a bigger and worse chance of a data breach and a tunneling attack or whatever, so that a whole visitor experience becomes something where Anonymous decides that they don't like someone that works for that particular theme park and changes all. They can get in and therefore change everything that is running.
Yeah, it is a very complicated type of approach, but in essence, it is the security, and implementation. And security involves a lot of things. And we start talking about IT security. Well, actually, there's a paragraph where you need to tell who are the people who have access to the networks and passwords, all that stuff. So it is quite involved. Of course, there's a risk of that. And I try to remember where there are any experiences where even type in some names and take some pictures and you post them on a video wall where everything is dynamic and and floating around. We have to take our already precautions. We need to have like a auditor who approves any uploaded pictures, because it's a public space and somebody decides to upload something which is inappropriate. Everything it can't be completely 100% dynamic in these spaces. And but comes experiential, of course, we touch the GDPR, and as there's a name, a surname, we can't touch it. But if there's a consent and you have that experience, maybe it could be. I honestly would like to experience one day something that is partially like augmented, a little bit of your maybe social life, or should I say digital media life. And then you're there having drinks and something pops up or some sort of a thing. I don't know. What's going to be
things like being able to go to a location-based attraction or entertainment center or whatever, and being able to, especially where VR is all the rage at the moment, design your avatar before you're there. So you can log in, and then when you get there, you've got your little QR code, because everyone's got a booking QR code, and that snaps in. If you don't want to do that, then it snaps in a random avatar, and that's who you are, and that might be funny for your group, and it also could be kind of insulting and whatever. But you've got the option there to be able to make yourself your avatar in that. What's the Ready Player One, that film, where you can make your avatar and appear in front of people. I think that's going to be, once the VR experience fad becomes headset based and they take the PC out of the equation, there's enough onboard power to get that done. I think that's going to be a thing. And then it's going to be back to, no, I actually want to have physical interaction with people and the things around me. It's all very well and good playing with controls or guns or headsets, whatever, and seeing different things. I think it's going to be a lot like 3D TVs.
Yeah.
I want to play with that. I want to do that.
Actually change that up a little bit, because I agree with you that people are the VR technology is on the brink of, it's going to be, in French we say démocratisé. It's going to be pretty much all access. Anyone can.
Le Pepe Le Pew.
Le Pepe Le Pew. But I'm wondering whether COVID has accelerated that need for in-person connection. There's like this half of me is thinking people need in-person connections, and half of me is saying people are so scared of in-person connections that everyone's going to be super happy to just stay at home and do everything that they could from their own home and just not have to deal with catching anything.
But we totally have, why not both? Like that's where the technology is at the moment. For specifically VR, you can have both. You can have, I'm going to go and do this experience physically with my friends, but one of them can't make it because he's got an early start tomorrow and can't be 6 hours away doing an experience with us in Manchester, but he can log in because he's got a headset at home, and he can play the game with us and see us there left and right in game, and we can all have a blast together. But then he's also ready to go to bed and get up in the morning, and everything's going to be fine. So there is a lot of longevity in that specific circumstance. But when you can lean out and touch someone and the VR tracks, I think that's cool. But at the same time, I think that's going to end up being a sort of has-been. It's going to be, I want to see Cynthia and Nerijus stood next to me and be experiencing something together, and then having the visual aspect, that depth and that engagement be in front of me in a different way that I don't think the industry has discussed or thought of yet.
Yeah, I'm with you. AR, yeah, I think it will be nice. Just augmented a little bit. So augmented reality. You see, oh, there's a open door, and you walk in there, bam, there's a screen. Oh.
And then have the screen come up saying ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
A bit like an escape room that just consistently mugs you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nerijus, if you could have a perfect dream project, whether you've met an IP or something like that, or something that you really want to work with or want to work on, if you could pull from the ether exactly what you wanted, what would you choose as a project?
I've worked on quite a few interesting projects. I think one thing that would be very interesting, and I don't think it's real yet, but we are in this industry that we are visionaries. I don't know, brave enough maybe, but I think what would be very interesting to have as a project is maybe a science center or experience center, which would be carbon negative, meaning that the building and the whole center would be giving much more to the locals and to the environment than it took to be built, and then educate on that one. I think that would be quite interesting if we could.
That would be
what
really
a fantastic answer.
Yeah, that's like one of the best answers we've gotten on that. Yeah, that is admirative and huge, and yeah, it's.
How do you do that, Nerijus, without putting us out of work?
Oh yeah, so that's easy. You get some media and etc., and the visitors have to jump on the bikes and put the screens up so they actually can see something.
There's actually
You want to watch this? You want to watch this 4D theater on a motion platform? You better be cycling.
In Lyon, there's a mapping festival called the La Fête des Lumières, the Light Festival. And so it's mapping obviously against buildings inside the city. And there were bikes that were lined up in front of the facade, and people had to bike to see the lights. And I thought that was a really cool, they made a commercial out of it. It was just, it's really awesome.
And we know someone that worked on that, Cynthia.
Huh?
We know someone that worked on it.
We did?
We do.
Who did we know that worked on that?
Bear with.
That
Okay.
is a brilliant idea. With all the environment and that is, we definitely should be a bit more considerate of, and we are, in all fairness, more efficient, and what we do has to be conscious. And
Lumiere, sorry, Cynthia, Lumiere, where specifically was it?
Fête des Lumières à Lyon, in Lyon.
Yeah, I don't say Lyon, I do say Lyon. But I'm pretty sure that Moment Factory did that, and that was Daniel Normandin. That's on the.
Was it Moment Factory? I'm not sure it was Moment Factory, but maybe it was. We shall ask Danielle.
We shall.
Yes. I know my son works on it because my son is in show control for mapping.
Literally everything in French, though, it's like it's having lumière,
Oh, yeah, that one.
garlic lumière.
Oh, yes. Garlic is ail.
C'est une baguette.
C'est une baguette. Une baguette qu'on met sous le bras.
Je suis un petit déjeuner.
Je suis
Non
une
pour les
petite
Français.
déjeuneuse.
Non pour les Français.
You just said that you're a little girl from Dijon.
I thought that was I'm a little breakfast. I'm a breakfast.
Petit déjeuner. Je suis
Oh,
un
déjeuner.
petit déjeuner. I'm a breakfast. You want to say that you are a breakfast?
I don't know French.
So I'm learning Spanish. Did I tell you guys about this?
Hola, yeah. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
And so I'm learning the
No
difference.
accent at all. Very good.
You know, in Spanish, they have two verbs to be. They have two infinitive to be verbs. One is for permanent states, and the other one is for temporary states. So the difference between ser and estar, and I'm learning the difference between these things. And we are going to have a host, soy and estoy, ser and estar. We're going to have a host called in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I can't remember when exactly. In a couple of weeks, we have our a new guest.
I was going to say.
And I speak Spanish.
Why am I being replaced?
You're not being replaced, honey. And I told him the difference between ser and estar that I was learning, and we'll talk about it next week. But language is super interesting. I love language.
Yeah.
But then there's other language outside of language.
As Kelly put it to me just in our prep show, I am a very cunning linguist.
I mean,
yeah.
You just did that slightly faster, Cynthia, to make that work.
When do you
You
say
need
that?
to say I'm a cunning linguist. Because it's a lot funnier. Anyway, moving on, because I just did that. Nerijus, if you could change something in the industry, what would it be? Or what do you think that the industry...
Get us off of this show. That's what I would change in this industry.
I wasn't asking you, I was asking Nerijus. So I'll ask it again because you interrupted so rudely. If you could change something in the industry, what would it be? Or what do you think that our industry lacks the most as like themed experience massive?
Well, we get that there are definitely some really good and exciting projects, which, you go in there, it's just something, and the people who create that, they're really bright minds, the brightest minds in the world. So it is from that experiential, I guess, how to say, these ideas are coming in, etc. From a technology point of view, I just embrace a little bit more IT and go into the cloud and go do a little bit more machine learning or AI, and there are interesting things that it can deliver. I've recently seen where the music was created using AI machine, and core ladies were singing to sort of complement that, and I thought that's quite impressive. And just these, where how we can push the boundaries, what's available, what's going to be next. And we need to keep talking about this. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know about what we do, what we can do, and what's being delivered. And,
building on what you said, I think there's a gap between what is thought of as creatively possible versus what is technically possible, and there's always that disconnect there between the two groups of people, and it's not so far as some people think that it is. You can be technically creative and then say, now this is possible, and then find, I mean, this is how I like to try and think of things and put ideas in front of people. We can technically do this. Now, can you find a way of marketing that? Can you find a creative story or something that fits into that? But it's always creativity leads technology, but technology in itself is always creative. We're always, as an industry, stepping up our game every single year, always moving up. And it's the same in Formula One and any sort of mechanical engineering or any engineering whatsoever is always getting better. Now, sometimes designs are designed based on what is known technology, and it's like, no, let's go push the boat further. I think Disney are one of Disney, Universal, Merlin, they're always challenging each other as to who can come up with the better thing. But at the moment, it seems to have plateaued, and we have the same sort of ideas and rides working throughout, and it's the same shows and the same rides. Now, I don't know whether that's based around what visitors and audience like to see or expect, or whether there's just not the new wow factor, the new kind of experience slammed in the middle of a theme park. Because you guarantee, if you had all the money in the world and you got the augmented reality right and slapped that in the middle of a Universal park, that would be the new high bar that everything, museums, heritage, one-stop attractions or moving attractions or fixed attractions, location-based, home-based, they'd all be trying to get to that next new standard. And we don't have that new thing yet.
Yeah. Well, creativity and, technology, to add to that, what technology is evolutionary. It's just really, some sort of a revolution where it changes things completely. Steam engines, of course, electricity and all that, but the creativity is that factor. How do we twist that? And for a little break, I think it's fine, and there's going to be something, knowing the recent years, what we had to go through in this world, I think it's fine. But yeah, I'm sure there's something brewing, and there's going to be something big coming out soon.
Do you guys think that it's the designers that drive innovation and creativity, or is it the technology that is going to give designers opportunity to do something different and to innovate? Where does it come from? Is it really balanced? Is it a little more one-sided than the other?
Yeah, is it from science books that the things are coming? That people are talking of little things that would be mobile phones or something. I don't know. I think it's creatives who are visionary people, and they can create a storyline, and potentially technology would catch up a little bit as well. Well, the technology has its own path, of course. There is research and things, and we need to do, how the things show up. It is market research, and you have to evaluate whether it's a feasible thing. Could it be a new hot cake? And what could be a new hot cake? And they have to follow somebody. And the creatives usually, we need visionaries, don't we? I think.
I'm with Sarah in the comments. Sorry, in our little producer Sarah's private chat, because it's always around the budget. When the budget gets unlimited, and it's for one of the, occasionally, and I think for techie people, you either end up working for an establishment that has unlimited back pocket of cash, or for those that don't, maybe you work for them 3 or 4 times in your career doing something that is properly unlimited and magnificent. And then for me as a technical person, the top creative person is sat at the top going, I want this, make it happen. And we go, do you realize how much that's going to cost? They go, I don't care. That's when real innovation happens. Otherwise, it's value engineering and going, how can I figure this out on this budget? And you always want twice the budget, or at least well, you always want more. And it's like, how can I get something that fits this brief inside of that budget? And you end up shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And the wow factor that the designers originally come up with comes like lower and lower and lower. And then the visitor misses out. And it's very frustrating as a tech person to go, this could have been mind-blowing.
Yes, exactly.
If you had 30 grand. But you don't.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And these lessons you learn, and what you try to do is actually try to work in a way so if you need to do the task at least twice or something, instead of doing that again and again, you write the script, you write the software, you try to automate your processes. You have to have it. So whenever you have a client, actually, you can come with added value that you have, and instead of spending time doing that, you could work on that added value element. You could let them have a little bit more, give them everything else. The foundations are there. You just gotta, look at it if it makes sense.
When I was a problematic youngster, I used to walk around, which I've learned not to do through, my 14 years in now. So I think I'm a year behind you in the industry. I used to walk around and just be like literally point out to a client, that's wasted money. That's wasted money. You're wasting money on these guys because they're slow and they're not very good at what they're doing. And that's wasting money. Now, if you'd have taken all of those things and made the right choices, you could have given me more budget and I could have done this better. And I get very frustrated when I look at things as a visitor and just see all of the letdowns. And it's sort of our end of the industry. The behind the curtain people can walk around and sort of judge a attraction differently. And I always suspend belief and go through as a visitor first, and then do it again with my critical eye, and make sure that I don't destroy myself, because I do love visitor attractions and experiences all the way around. So you've got to do it once nicely, and then I'll let it go. When I talk about it as my dad mostly, it's like, oh, we did this and it was really cool, and then it was really not cool. I've got to be careful now.
Yes, you do.
Talking to an electrosonic person.
We're going to move on to the next question now.
Do it, thank you.
No problem.
The best Pepper's Ghost I've ever seen is in Gringotts, and I know that was electrosonic. So
nice. And I know the person. He's very good as well. Very good.
The best I've ever seen anywhere on the planet.
Well, Nerijus, when in our private chat, give us his name and we'll have him on the show.
Okay.
Oh, what a fantastic idea!
Yeah, I know. I think it is. So, Nerijus, the show is called Unsung Heroes. And in our pre-show, I warned you that I would be asking this question. So, who is your unsung hero in your life, and why?
Yeah, so in my life, I met a lot of great people and great professionals, great characters, and all of them could be called unsung heroes, and I'm sure they are. One person I mentioned personally is my wife, Davina, and she's the one who supports me when times get really tough, because believe it or not, they do, and she's the one who brings all the inspiration and brings more motivation to face the challenges and get them done. So yeah, the kudos to her, and she's now this year we became parents, and now we have twin boys, and I can't be more grateful for her to do that.
Yay, baby boys!
Yeah,
cool beans. And is there anyone else that you're thinking of, maybe in the industry?
In the industry, who could I mention? I just recently, oh my God, the first mentor I was in Lithuania, Orunas, and I always looked into him and his dedication and his passion and his was very inspirational. He was always conservative and he was always professional, and just and he somehow saw some things in me, and he trusted me, giving me a little bit more tasks. And but there would be like evenings, Friday evening, and you go back, or you met some friends, and you drive back, and you see office lights are still being on, driving through the office, and you see him still working and doing some magic. And he was in all, that's what part my passion is, and it was very good. And yeah, big respect to him.
Cool. Well, that's great. Yes, we're all very, very moved by what you say and what you said about your wife being your unsung hero, and that's cool to see people in love and recognizing it and telling the person about it. That's very cool. She's lucky, and you're lucky, and your kids are lucky, and yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop because then I'm gonna start crying. Jesus.
Yeah.
So for the viewers, that's literally where I went. I was like, take me off, I'm going to have a little cry, because that was so cute. It was so sweet, Nerijus.
I will cry now.
Shall we move to our fun questions to stop crying?
Yes, do it. Do the quick fire ones.
Quick fire ones. All right, Nerijus, are you ready?
Ready.
Maybe.
These questions are designed to be very short answered, but you can make them as long as you want them to be. And I will ask you questions if I want to. What the hell is wrong with Chris?
It's the maybe I am. I don't. What the hell's coming here? There's nothing horrific, Nerijus. You're not going to get in trouble.
Really. Promise. There's nothing bad. All right. First one.
There's no skyscraper poop shoot questions.
Yes, exactly. We're not going down the shit waterfall. Okay, it's fine.
I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. Just yes,
all
no.
Right.
Yes.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Why?
It helps when you're tired, and helps to how to say, think a little bit better, concentrate when you need that last minute boost. Vanilla is great, but yeah, chocolate.
Okay. Apples or oranges?
Apples.
Why?
Yeah. I have a little allergy towards oranges. Yeah, I don't like that. Well, it's fine, but in moderation. Apples as many as I want.
Okay, apples because you can put peanut butter on apples, but that's okay. And of course, Chris is horrified by this every single time. But you just can't take the American out of me. Apples go with peanut butter.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Apples do not go with peanut butter, and you are disgusting for saying so.
Okay.
Nerijus, the best sandwich.
Hummus sandwich.
You see, now it's so nice. I mean, I love all of the guests that we've had on, but Reuben comes up in that section, that question. Everyone says a Reuben.
It does. They do. And it is.
Every time I've eaten a Reuben sandwich, it makes me want to vomit, which is literally twice in my life. It's like, no, I don't like this. This is horrific. Why do people like this?
Because it's good.
Like, I'll take hummus way over the top of it.
Hummus is my comfort food. It is. Nerijus,
it's good, light. It's chickpeas. You get all the nutrients. You get a little bit of lettuce. You get all some fresh vegetables around it, and it's good filling, and it doesn't weigh you down. I mean,
it's so true. Oh, I love hummus. My mom made hummus today. My mom makes hummus every day because she knows that I love it. I love my mom. Thanks, Mom.
So whilst you're in South America, I'm going to go see your mum. Be like, make me a sandwich.
Okay, you can do that. She'll be very happy. I have a list of friends that are going to come and take over the child position, and so that my parents don't feel too lonely. So I'll put you on the list of possible candidates to come and pretend to be a child. And because my brother's a monk, I'm sure that they would love to have a son come to the house. So, we'll do that.
They'd see the clouds come over and be like, "Oh God, what do we let ourselves in for? Call your brother so he can exorcise the demon."
Well, I have to say, my dad is.
What? Own up, Sarah or Kelly. Who
or
was
Sarah,
that?
I don't know who did that one, but that was beautiful. I want a screenshot of that one, please. that one I will need a screenshot of. All right. Wonderful. All right, next fun question.
Who's
The
I'm
one
not Max
thing-
Wax the Jacks, I'm Bob. That is a wonderful surname. I'm not Max Wax the Jacks, I'm Bob. That is a fantastic Twitch name. He's Bob, just Bob.
Yeah. Hi,
Wonderful.
Bob.
Hi, Bob. That's crazy.
Fantastic username. Sorry, Cynthia, you were on quick question 9 and we got derailed.
Yep.
That's all right. Quick question. What is the one thing that you own that you should throw out?
Oh, man. I think I should need to go into the loft and get rid of our old VGA cables. Yeah. Sorry, it's geeky.
I like that one. That one's funny. Your favorite smell?
You're going to keep the scarts though, Nerijus, or have you already got rid of them?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I have them anymore. No.
I've got 2 left. One's for my N64.
Right. I'll know next time if I'm in trouble and I need one. I'll keep it.
So is okay. Nerijus is back. Next question. Oh, your favorite smell?
I like oud. That's interesting. That's one thing from Middle East. I like that really strong fragrance of a tree, which released oils and somehow, it's just very, very deep, and I like it. Smoke amber, like leather type of thing. Yeah, that's what I like.
And your least favorite smell?
A corridor in Saudi Arabia on a building site.
Been there, will know that. Oh dear.
It's not, that laugh is a laugh of experience and of inside jokiness that he actually knows exactly the smell that you're talking about.
That's why I said it. No, but honestly, Nerijus, the worst smell for you.
Yeah, I don't like any combustion sort of fumes. I really hate diesel smell, and just when you're in the streets, it just I get completely no, and then I get migraine from that as well. So it's just I can't handle that.
Migraines are hell.
Burning dinosaurs, burning planks, basically. I don't like that.
You need to move out of central London and have some proper fresh air.
I believe so.
All right. Next one. Describe the rest of your life in 5 words or less.
Yeah, I'm really 5 words or less. Father, loving kids and wife, and trying to enjoy the life.
That's more than 5 words. It's like
more. Yeah, let's take hands out.
But That's fine. I like that one.
You can replace the last 5 words with life, and therefore you get 5 words out of that. Father, loving, wife, kids, life.
Yeah. MFSB. No.
And the last one.
Yep.
What song would you choose if you had to listen to it for the rest of your life?
Oh dear. Very difficult one because there's so many good songs, and it means you would have to live with that for the rest of your life. And the decision you would make. I could choose. Chris, do you remember the song that was the longest, I think, symphony, and Sony used that song to create CD discs? It was 74 minutes or something.
Oh, God.
Who was that? Mozart? No, I don't know.
It wasn't. No, it was.
Would I choose that because it's very long, and maybe I wouldn't get bored listening to that?
You could argue a vinyl because it's a continuous play. The Who Quadrophenia. It's like, oh, what's that piece called?
Beethoven's Ninth is what Sarah is saying.
Oh, is it? I was looking at the comment section, didn't see it. Could be.
Yeah, but I don't think I would choose that. I think I'd go with Pink Floyd. What I do? Astronomy, Darlene, or Led Zeppelin, maybe Kashmir.
Led Zeppelin, Kashmir. Okay, now that's cool.
Banging choice.
We're gonna get
banging choice.
Yes.
Add it to the Unsung Heroes list.
I wouldn't listen to that every day. It would be just special occasions, once a year. Something like that.
The rest of your life will be in silence. No music. All right, Chris, the fast fire questions are over.
Oh no,
I've
got some doozies. And I've lost the one that I was literally about to ask first. That was my hypothetical one. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yes, right. So, hypothetically, Nerijus, you do know the Royal Variety performance and the Royal Variety show in the UK? You do because you live in London. Come on. He's like, no.
No.
Oh, we're going to have to bin that. Fuck. That's the biggest swear I've ever done on Unsung Heroes. Sorry. Okay. I'll use a different one. It's a big show for the Queen. Anyway. Royalty. Anyway, we're going to skip that and we're going to go with how much money would someone have to give you to never use a bag ever again?
What type of bag? Plastic bag?
Any bag. Rucksack, plastic bag, laptop bag. Suitcases?
Well, suitcases is not necessarily a bag.
It's a luggage bag.
Luggage, yeah.
So essentially, everything that you need to carry, you're carrying.
You would have a basket, maybe, or something. Yeah.
I will allow you a wicker basket.
I have a question.
Yep.
Can your undergarments carry things?
Oh yeah.
Not your bra, because that's massive and that's not fair. Get out of town. Nerijus doesn't have a bra, so I'm asking Nerijus the question. Get out, Cynthia.
Yeah.
What I'm saying here is exclusive. Cynthia has massive norks. I'm asking Nerijus a question. Anyway, so how much would someone have to pay you, Nerijus, to not use a bag ever again to carry anything? Bearing in mind, you can use people and wicker baskets. I will allow a basket.
very odd question. How can I sort of summarize? I don't know. Should I throw a number, random? 10
Yes.
million. Fine, whatever. I would live with that. It doesn't matter.
That's fine. I'm sure you'd be able, with 10 million, you'd be able to have someone else to carry your things with you.
But yeah, also, then you would look into that carefully, try to assess the budgets, to see what are the project budgets, and then you would evaluate whether it's feasible or not. I don't know.
It's just have a smash and see what happens. So, final 2 questions. We always have 2 questions at the end.
Yes.
Because this is Unsung Heroes, Nerijus, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I wish I could climb any mountain. No, I think, maybe see through the walls, X-ray.
Oh, why? Is that to trace cable routes and make sure that you know everything?
Yeah.
Don't want to go in there. Looks boring.
No,
don't want to go in there.
No, just actually mainly I don't know, to be fair. Would I need anything? Yeah, I'm not that. Let's just call it X-ray. Fine, whatever.
He's like so for the viewers, Nerijus is like Neo in Matrix and can bend everything to his whim already. So X-ray vision on top of that. We have I don't know, you could literally be the best of superheroes, or you could be the worst of villains.
Yeah, worst of them, yeah, basically. Just slow as a turtle, can't do anything. No.
The choice is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. So what Nerijus doesn't have is a big hat or a little hat.
That's right.
So, Nerijus, if you had to wear a big hat or a little hat for the rest of your life, and you weren't allowed to explain to anyone why you're wearing the hat, it was just like your thing, and you're like, now take it or leave it. Which would you pick? Would you pick the big hat or the little hat?
Yeah, I think I'd choose the big hat. You know why? Because I can't have bags anymore, and I need to carry things.
It's gonna use it.
Yeah.
What a fantastic answer.
I'm loving that. Oh my God, yes.
It's got a big hat.
That.
I'll do it.
Excellent.
The big hat doesn't fit my head, so it's like a hilarious little thing that it's not actually that big, and it barely fits the little hat.
Oh, wow, interesting. Oh.
Well, that's disappointing.
That's the depth of it. Like it's not very big and it's not very wide. I think I need a big hat, and I need a little hat.
There must be something in there. What are you hiding in there?
There's a false panel that I'm genuinely tempted to cut out and then rebuild, but it was like £6 from Amazon, so I don't care.
I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Just a little hat storage inside a big hat. Imagine if I cut this out and there's like a message inside of it that just says help.
Or maybe it's a magician's hat. You cut it out and there's a pigeon in there and saying, "Thank God for that."
I mean,
thanks.
We are on episode 17, so that pigeon is definitely dead.
Yep. That would be a very dead pigeon in the hat. I definitely agree.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. We're at the end of the fun questions. That means that we're at the end of the show. This is crazy.
David's chipped in. David's on a cigarette break at work, and he's chipped in just to say big hat.
Well, hi, David. Big hat. Yes, we know you would choose the big hat.
Big love.
Yes, we love you big, David.
Yeah.
Yes. Nerijus, thank you so much for being on this show. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Where can we find you, Nerijus? Where can people see what you're doing and interact with you and follow you? Industry people, your LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, mainly LinkedIn. more than happy. Guys, reach out to me. And the most importantly is Cynthia, Chris. Thank you for having me. It's such enjoyable Friday afternoon or evening, depending where you are, and I really love it. It was very entertaining, and thank you guys.
Thank you very much for being our unsung hero of the week and for being so cool and inventive and such an interesting guest to have on the show. Everybody.
And a secret industry leader from behind the curtain.
Yes, from behind. We like that. Everybody, get in touch with Nerijus if you would like to know more about him and talk to him in person. And don't forget to like, follow, slightly subscribe, and fondle our little buttons. Yes, the buttons, wherever they are. We never know where they are. They're somewhere.
They're either over there or they're over there, and I'm in the wrong seat to say there because they're down that direction. We're terrible at this.
Yeah, we're really bad. We're really bad at this. But anyway,
press all the buttons except refresh. Oh.
Yes, exactly. Please do not press refresh. So you guys, hey, make the world a better place. Go hug a hero. Love everybody. Goodbye. Bye, Nerijus.
See ya.
Oh.
Hey.